Hi there, this is the Web Marketing Doctor, and in this video we will learn how to choose keywords for our website. Each website needs a primary keyword phrase for best results in getting search traffic. So we will take some business examples such as a gift shop in Phoenix, a dry cleaner business in Portland, a business selling custom surfboards, and a photography business which provides wildlife prints for sale. So for each of these, we want to choose a keyword phrase that best suits the website for maximum traffic. And to do that, we're going to use the Google Keyword Planner. So we'll type that in, Google, and it should be this result here. It's not the general AdWords one. It is AdWords, but it's a tool within AdWords. To access it, you need a Google account, either Gmail or YouTube, for example, and it should allow you to log in and access the keyword tool. So here we are on the Keyword Planner. If it dumps you to the general AdWord page, you just go to Tools and then Keyword Planner. So for this, we want to get search volume data and trends. So click that. I didn't click it hard enough, I guess. Okay, it says enter keywords. So taking the first example, which is a gift shop in Phoenix, we want to choose the right keywords for the domain name of that website. So let's type in a few examples. Gift shop, Phoenix, gifts, custom gifts, homemade gifts, and I'm just making up phrases off the top of my mind, like synonyms that could be related. Handmade gifts. What's something else? Gift shop. Some of these might be silly, but you just want to go ahead and enter it in anyway and just see how much traffic is estimated for it. So after you're done thinking of all the synonym phrases, you click the Get Search Volume button. And on the next page, it will show you an example of the monthly search traffic that keyword will get. So this is the number of times that phrase is typed in per month on average. And you can see it actually gives a trend showing a seasonal increase from October to November. So gifts are highly correlated with Christmas being in December, so it is showing a spike for that. Now here it is ranked already from most popular to least popular. You can see that Phoenix Gifts only gets 90 searches per month max, or on average, but that's not very much. You can't really survive on that little of traffic. You probably wouldn't make very much money if you were to target this keyword phrase Phoenix Gifts. There's too few people searching for it. So it could be that even though you're selling gifts in Phoenix, your website may cater to a larger audience. So maybe you have a retail store in Phoenix, you advertise that locally, however, your website could be a worldwide audience. And it appears handmade gifts gets the most traffic. Now just because this gets 27,100 searches per month doesn't mean you automatically want to choose this. First, you want to, I'm just going to copy the text and just see what the competitors look like for handmade gifts, because maybe it's already saturated with competitors. The first result we have is Pinterest. Pinterest is a huge website with probably hundreds of thousands of links to it, and there's a high page rank likely for that website. What you want is to see if it is optimized according to the best practices of SEO. You want to make sure it has the following tags. Let's see here. For best SEO, you first want to check and see if the title has a keyword phrase, the H1 tag has a keyword phrase, if there's links with the keyword phrase, if body copy has the keyword phrase, images, meta tags, and then other headings. That's your best practice. So when you're looking at this page, you can see, yep, that is the H1 tag, most likely. If you do inspect in the browser, you can see, yes, it indeed has handmade gifts as the H1 tag. Here it is right here. So that's pretty well optimized. You can scroll through and see this has handmade in it, handmade. There's references to gifts, handmade cards. There's derivatives of that keyword phrase. In my opinion, it would be very hard to dethrone Pinterest with this handmade gifts keyword phrase, even though it's not perfectly optimized. It'd be better optimized if handmade gifts was actually in the domain name, handmadegifts.com or something like that. It's not, but still Pinterest has so many links, it gives it more weight where it has a higher probability of ranking #1, and in which case it does for this. Second is this website. We can check that out. And basically we're just investigating these websites to see how optimized they are. In a minute I'll show you another tool which can help you at a glance see how optimized it is. But you also want to look at it yourself and just see what your impression is, because real users are going to have an impression as well. Okay, I Heart Nap Time. Never heard of it, but it might be very popular in custom gifts. Okay, so we have handmade Christmas gifts. It's not perfectly optimized. If it were perfect, it would say simply handmade gifts and an H1 tag. I could probably investigate this and see if this title is in a H1 tag. It's in an H2 tag. Okay. And then it's not the exact phrase. So, okay. So this is not perfectly optimized. It's probably only like 50% optimized to that phrase. Whereas the Pinterest one was much closer optimized, although not perfect either. So Pinterest was probably 80% optimized. This is 50. So what you're doing is you're evaluating the probability of you ranking #1. And if you can't rank for #1, you don't even want to try. You would want to get a different phrase that you are sure you can dominate and be #1, because the website that ranks #1 gets most of the traffic. I mean, let's face it, that's the reality. You want to dominate. If you dominate a specific search phrase and attract links and traffic to it, you might likely start to rank for other more general search phrases as well. So you want to start specific and then grow more general. You don't want to start general and then realize you failed and then try to backtrack and go specific, because it's much harder to do that. So based on this, I would say you have a high chance of ranking #2 for handmade gifts. If you were simply to go to GoDaddy, I'll just type it in direct. And then I'm going to just simply copy this phrase and paste it in GoDaddy. And then it's going to suggest some available domain names. Now, according to search engines like Google, the .com, this extension doesn't even matter. It can be .anything, and it's not going to be penalized. The .com only sounds better for a business perspective, for customers. It just sounds more credible because it's the original, most popular domain extension. But it really doesn't matter for search traffic, and what your goal is to get the maximum search traffic. So better to have the exact keyword phrase and a random extension rather than go for a .com and then choose something less targeted to your phrase. So for example, okay, some of these domain extensions are pretty lousy. Handmadegifts.guru, handmadegifts.today. A lot of these are, just sound strange. Hand-woven gifts. I didn't consider that. Hand-woven. See, this helps give us derivative phrases that you can take and put back into the keyword planner tool and get additional suggestions for keyword phrases. Okay, hand-sewn gifts. Okay, look, a lot of these are cyber squatters who bought the domain name. They're trying to resell them, I would think. I can't imagine someone doing this for luxury, $800 a year. That's ridiculous. Yeah, this is probably a cyber squatter or somebody selling this domain name. It's listed probably in their auctions. So let's say you just chose one of these. Let's just choose the cheapest one. Handmade gifts. Boy, today, that's an awful domain name. Just sounds bad. Oh, here's one. Handmadegifts.club. Okay, that's reasonable. That's the best one. Verifying availability. Okay, so it's available, and so you would just check out and buy the domain and start building your website on it. If you ever use GoDaddy, they have decent prices for domains, but just make sure you ignore all their marketing upselling. Just, no thanks on email address. Email addresses are free once you get hosting, so it's totally ridiculous. It's kind of a scam. So you just have to ignore all that stuff, continue and get to the checkout and pay for the domain name itself. So that's what we would do if we're competing with handmade gifts. And that would give us about 27,100 potential searches a month if we were to rank number 1, if you were to beat Pinterest. But at number 2, you would still get a portion of it. Gift shop is probably so generic, you probably wouldn't want to target that phrase, I'm guessing. Gift shop. Actually, what I'm noticing is it tends to be very localized. Gift shop is probably a very local type of search. So we won't even consider that. So based on these, it seems like handmade gifts is the best phrase we're targeting for that. So for this, to continue our example, handmade gifts dot, what did we say it was? I don't remember. It was dot something in GoDaddy. But anyway, the main phrase is handmade gifts. That is the phrase we're targeting. Okay, now dry cleaners in Portland. Let's consider that. Dry cleaners in Portland. Let's go back to the keyword planner. Now, dry cleaners, you don't want a national search. If you're a physical location in a certain city, you always want that city name to be a part of it. So let's just see what the search volume is for that. It's probably very low. Maybe not everyone searches for that online. Yeah, it's only 390. Okay. Now, if we type that in Google, let's see what the response is. Now, even though it's low search traffic, every business needs a website, and you might as well dominate it. So let's see what comes up. Yelp, dry cleaning. Yeah, Yelp has a lot of listings. Portland dry cleaner. See, here's someone that actually, is that a real competitor? Oh, okay. It's could be a spam site or something. PDX cleaners. Okay, Portland cleaners. Okay, Portland cleaners. It's about what I'd expect for a dry cleaning shop. You know, it doesn't need to be. Well, a lot of people don't invest a lot of money in this type of thing. It looks like they might have even had this created by Dex, which is a Yellow Page company up there. It's not very well optimized. You don't have any H1 tag. It needs to be actual selectable text, not an image. So actually, here's Portland Cleaners. Let's see if that's an H1 tag. It is. So actually, they did optimize this one. Well, it says welcome to Portland Cleaners. So they could have had the welcome to outside of the H1 tag and just start the H1 tag here. So they could have done that and had it look exactly the same, but unfortunately they didn't. So it's not as optimized. However, they used it in the body copy, Portland Cleaners. Oh, the Portland Cleaners. So yeah, they used it 3 times in the body copy. So actually, with that in mind, they met the requirement of this using the keyword 3 times. So that was good. So far they've used it here, the H1 tag. They've used it 3 times in the body copy. And they might have links too. And did they have it on their title? They did. They provided, or let's see, they had other words as well. But yeah, they do have it in the title. So it's fairly well optimized. Let's see if this image is optimized as well. This should say Portland Cleaners in that image. It sort of does. It could be generated from CSS, so it may not be directly visible. But let's start with an SEO checker tool. SEO site checkup. I haven't used these yet, but let's just see what they are. They probably will do the same thing. Most people agree on what makes the site optimized. So let's check out pdxcleaners.com, pop it in here, and see how they do. So, okay, 73 out of 100. Oh, it's still changing. 62 out of 100. Okay, it's probably slightly worse than I would have expected, but we'll see what all they're checking. Title tag, okay, it checked out the title. Oh, actually, an interesting thing though, they didn't ask for the keyword phrase. So they don't know what phrase they're actually going for yet, because they're not very specific. It says welcome to. The welcome to is worthless. Laundry services, that is a helpful second tier keyword phrase, and Portland, Oregon helps as well, although I don't think it's important to have that in the H1 tag. Aside from this, what we already have, Portland Cleaners. Yeah, it gives a density of each keyword, how it's used. Well, this is only checking for the presence of the H1 and H2 and things like that. Broken links, okay. Broken links are bad. Okay, some of the images don't have alt tags, and there's some other suggestions. Yeah, so basically in looking at Portland dry cleaners, it seems like you could do a better job than this ranking here, but I'm not sure you can beat Yelp. Yelp is a massive site with probably hundreds of thousands of links to the domain. However, it doesn't mean it's impossible. With a perfectly optimized site on an optimized domain with lots of links, you could potentially rank #1 for Portland dry cleaners or Portland cleaners. So looks like I put dry cleaners, but that will just give an idea of how to search and target a keyword phrase. Keep in mind it's very low traffic, so one thing we didn't do yet is just type in cleaners. And let's type it in the other order. Although I don't think the order matters for this particular keyword tool. Portland laundry. You can see how keyword research is very important. I mean, it's like placing your tent where there's people, or placing it over in the woods where there's no people. You want to place your stakes, establish your business, in this tent example, where the traffic is. You want to be in the traffic flow. So in this case, Portland Cleaners has the most searches. The other thing you want to be aware of is stay away from trademarked names. Is Portland Cleaners a trademark name? Let's see, we already had it here. Welcome to Portland Cleaners. Well, it appears they do consider themselves Portland Cleaners. So these things are based on first use, not necessarily whether or not the name is formally trademarked through the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, but first use. So you want to be very careful and make sure if you're going to invest a lot of effort into building a website around a keyword phrase, that is not a trademarked phrase. In this case, it very well might be. And so you possibly might want something different than Portland Cleaners. Maybe it's Portland, Oregon Cleaners. That could be different. Maybe it's Portland Laundry and Cleaners, or maybe it's some derivative of that phrase. So that gives you an idea. So for this, you'd probably want Portland. Actually, it didn't say dry cleaners, so you might want Portland dry cleaners or something like that. I think we'll stop here because this is getting to be a very long video. Custom surf shop, we'll just do a quick search and see what comes up. Okay, 320 searches per month. Custom surfboard. Let's try surfboards one word too. There's one word and two words. And we're just testing out the volume. Okay, surfboards 27,100 searches per month. Surfboards 2 words only 8,000. So, I mean, here we've already decided that surfboards 1 word is what people type in. Now, I'm sure surfboards.com is already taken. Generic names like this. You know, you can have your targeted keyword phrase be just surfboards. Oh, look here, they targeted surf rides, surf boards, and shortboards. See, they're not targeting one thing. They have 4 words in here. This one, the domain is surfboards. See, Google even bolds the words. So it tells you actually why it's ranking and why it's listings, because it's what is in bold. Here's surfboards.com ranking 3rd. So if you were going to compete, you would have to do something where you're sure you're going to rank number 1. It looks like just surfboards dot something might be too generic. That might be a hard space to compete in. So you want to keep testing out different variations to where you're sure you can get number 1, like shortboards. Let's type in shortboards. And then you just repeat the same thing. You see how optimized it is, put it through an SEO checker, and just see what the likeliness is of you beating them out. Okay, 1,300 searches per month. And shortboards may not have as many competitors. Actually, that means shortboards. Let's see how optimized this is. Let's see if they have an H1 tag. Let's see if they use it in their body copy. Let's see if it's linked to, maybe there's an image that has an alt tag that's shortboards. Okay, it's looking pretty good already. Surfboards. Slow internet today. Okay, not sure what happened there. But anyway, you'd want to test and make sure that's an H1 tag. If it's not, and if there's other problems they have where they're not totally optimized, you have a greater chance of beating them. Wow, that does not even say shortboards in the H1 tag. That's weird. Wow, something really strange is going on. Look at that ad behind there. They might have some flash or something. So actually, for you, if you're selling shortboards, that would be good because they are not perfectly optimized. They're kind of messed up a little bit. So in that case, if you got shortboards dot something, if you went to GoDaddy again, you would likely find a domain that has shortboards in it. And maybe you'd want your domain just something like shortboards. Maybe that's it. Maybe you want 2 different websites. Maybe one is the name of your business. It has the word surfboard in it, and maybe a different one is shortboards. See, the .com is taken, but that's no surprise. Shortboards.org is only $8 a year. Well, for the first year, and then 18. Of course, 18 for each year after. So you might want that, or there's the shortboards.us. So my guess is if you bought one of these domain names, slapped a website on there where you followed these rules, you put the title, the keyword phrase shortboards, H1 tag shortboards, a link shortboards, you use it 3 times in the body copy, you do all these things, and then you get links to it. Ideally, try to get a link from Wikipedia or some other credible sites, and you could probably beat out this company. Okay, there's also Amazon.com. Amazon would be hard to beat, and I'm not sure about this company. But anyway, that should give you an idea of how to use Keyword Planner. This is a long video, but I really hope it's helpful. This is what you do, folks, to get number 1 in Google. Good luck to you.